Everyone say, love begins with a smile. For him, love began with a name. Tae-hung. Someone had called him from across the corridor. Jungkook didn't even know who that person was talking about yet. But when he looked up, he saw him. A senior. Someone completely out of Jungkook's world. That day, Jungkook learned something strange about him. Someone said Taeyoung's name. His heart reacted first. It was ridiculous. He barely knew him. Yet somehow, the sound of his name felt like a secret only Jungkook could hear. At first, it was just small moments. Passing each other on the stairs. Seeing Taeyoung laughing with his friends, Jungkook never approached him. Never spoke to him. Because to Jungkook, Taeyoung felt like sunlight. Beautiful to look at, but impossible to touch. And Jungkook had a rule. Don't fall for someone you can't have. Unfortunately, his heart never listened. And Jungkook's love quietly grew in the background of Taeyoung's life. He memorized Taeyoung's schedule without meaning to. He knew which cafe Taeyoung visited after lectures. And the worst part? Taeyoung didn't know that Jungkook existed. Just another junior passing in the hallway. Sometimes Jungkook wondered if love like this was foolish. Loving someone silently, without confession. But even then he couldn't stop. Because hearing someone say Taeyoung still made his heart race. Then one ordinary afternoon everything changed. Their professor announced semester project. Groups would assign randomly. Jungkook barely paid attention. Until he heard the name. Kim Taeyoung and Chun Jungkook will work together. Jungkook thought he misheard. Taeyoung was already looking at him. Curiously and smiling. Taeyoung says, it looks like we're partners. That was the first time Taeyoung spoke to him. Jungkook's brain completely stopped working. Yes. That was all he managed to say. But inside, his heart was screaming. Working together meant meeting after class. Studying in the library. For Jungkook, every moment felt dangerous. Because the closer he got to Taeyoung, the harder it became to hide his feelings. Taeyoung wasn't just handsome. He was warm and kind. Playful. Sometimes, Taeyoung teased Jungkook. Taeyoung looks at him in a way that Jungkook forgot how to breathe. But Jungkook convinced himself that it was nothing. Weeks passed. And something strange began happening. Taeyoung started noticing things. The way Jungkook, avoiding eye contact. The way Jungkook smiled softly whenever someone calls Taeyoung. At first, Taeyoung thought it was cute. Then he started thinking about it more. Then he started looking at Jungkook, which was strange, because Taeyoung had never done that before. One evening they stayed late, finishing their project. The campus was quiet. Jungkook packed his bag quickly. He said, I should go. Then Taeyoung calls Jungkook, but Jungkook froze instantly. Taeyoung noticed Jungkook's reaction. The sudden stillness. And he asked softly, why do you react like that? Every time I say your name? Jungkook's heart started racing. He couldn't answer. Then he said nothing. Taeyoung wasn't convinced. He stepped closer. Close enough that Jungkook could hear his breathing. Then Taeyoung whispered something unexpected. Because I reacted the same way when someone says your name, Jungkook thought he misunderstood. But Taeyoung continued. I started noticing you before this project. You always look at me like you're listening to music that no one else can hear. Jungkook's face turned red instantly. He wanted to disappear. But Taeyoung stopped him from leaving. Then he said the words that Jungkook had never dared to imagine. Jungkook. Do you like me? Jungkook's hands trembled. He had spent months on hiding his feelings. But now, standing here, hearing Taeyoung saying him these, running felt impossible. So, he whispered the truth. Yes, Jungkook expected rejection. Instead, Taeyoung laughed softly. He said, I think I started liking you too. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The silence felt fragile, beautiful. Then Taeyoung said one last thing. Jungkook, just his name. But this time, Jungkook smiled. Because he understands something importante. Sometimes love begins quietly, not with grand confessions, not with